has a better chance in his mind.
All right, so that should be a very good one, but of course, that's not all here in Top Rank Boxing.
For tonight, the Olive Capri Casino, Top Rank Boxing, and Budweiser, the king of beers, presents the Brawl for It All, live on ESPN. All bouts tonight sanctioned by the Louisiana Boxing Commission, Mr. Leonard Miller, chairman of the commission, Mr. Buddy Emanata, commissioner. Also, a very special birthday, Mr. Ringside announcer, Mr. Al Bernstein. Tonight's first bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Your referee, Elmo Adolph. In the red corner, wearing the white trunks, weighing in at 154.5 pounds, from St. Petersburg, Florida, with 10 wins, 7 losses, 3 by knockout, Darrell Woods. And in the blue corner, wearing the purple and black trunks, weighing in at 154.5 pounds, from Shreveport, Louisiana, with a record of 24 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 14 knockouts, Anthony Stevens.
Anthony, here in Louisiana, this is how they'll do it. 10 points to the winner of a round. 3 knockdowns in 1 round would end the fight. 3 judges score the fight. The referee does not figure into it. Standing 8 would count as one of the knockdowns. Only the referee can stop the fight, and a fighter can only be saved by the bell in the last round.
So we are set to go. Darrell Woods will bring a height and a reach advantage in, but against a very, very tough boxer, Anthony Stevens. Wood is the southpaw in this case.
And he'll be switching up during the course of the fight, in his estimation. Figures he may need to do that to catch up with the speedy Stevens.
We are into round 1. This one is scheduled for 10 rounds. Anthony Stevens in the purple, and in the white is Darrell Wood.
Stevens figures he'll have to chop Wood down.
You didn't really say that, did you?
That's what he said. No, that's what he said. That's a direct quote.
I hope so for your sake. I'm sorry.
We helped him out. Now we threw the S in there for him.
Okay. Go on here in round 1 in this scheduled 10-rounder. Stevens is from this area, from Shreveport, right here in Bossier City, and he is a popular figure in this part of the country. He's a very good boxer, puncher type. Facing it is interesting in facing such a tall, lanky left-hander. That's an interesting challenge.
He figures it will take quite a few rounds here to get this thing going. He'll be attacking the body, moving side to side, and maybe making his opponent switch.
Thanks to James Belanger for those nice birthday wishes.
35 years old today.
Well, you're in the ballpark anyway. Under a minute left to go here in round 1. Stevens is circling, trying to figure out how to get on the inside, although Woods is not throwing that many punches himself.
Woods has had a territorial edge in the ring, but he's not getting his offense together here. He would like to be there, though, throughout the course of the fight and then get it together.
Half an hour left to round 1. One of the most recognizable people that Woods has fought, Rocco McCart, from the Detroit area. Lost him in a TKO in the 8th round. That was in Auburn Hills, and McCart's home territory.
Step back, wait! Step back, fellas.
Please. I'd like to get a win over Stevens, who is also a name opponent, to get him back on track. We'll be back for round 2. Stay with us. There is Darrell Woods, who I believe his record was announced incorrectly. It is, in fact, 10-3 with 7 KOs. That is his correct record.
And one of those losses to McCarty said he had only 3 days' notice, but for this one, he only had 10. So you figure you learn from fight to fight, and maybe one bad experience might change the outlook. And that is a paltry set of connection percentages, and Woods is straying into that all-time record area for worst performance in a round.
We're in round 2. It is scheduled for 10. Anthony Stevens, who is in the purple and black trunks, and Darrell Woods in the white. And Anthony Stevens beat Kenneth Kidd in his last match in July here in Bossier City. You saw him beat Kevin Pompey in a very good performance in February. And before that, in one of the most stirring fights we've ever had on ESPN, he lost his USBA welterweight title to Jesse James Hughes, who, as you may know, sadly has since passed away, the victim of a brutal killing in Alabama. It was just a wild fight, which Stevens went down 4 times in the fight and ultimately lost.
He is not having an easy time against the southpaw style, figuring out where he wants to go. He could fire some right-hand leads here. He could fire some double left hooks, provided he is clear enough to get those shots off, because he also has to contend with a reach disadvantage here.
Now, Woods, by the same token, as we saw by that one landed in 34 attempts, has not exactly been accurate himself, has he?
No, and also because he's not throwing a lot, he hasn't given Stevens much of a chance to counter either. There's that right-hand lead. Stevens able to get it in.
Stevens back in 1993 in one of his big left hand. He may have hurt Darrell Woods with it. Back in 93, fought Felix Trinidad, the IDF welterweight champion, in a very good fight. He gave him a heck of a fight, lost by TKO in the 10th round. He did some very good work in that fight.
Stevens has excellent hand speed and foot speed, very good lateral movement. Has all the moves in there that you need. May need a little bit more in the power department.
And Darrell Woods turns to righty. Let's see if that will have an advantage. I would think that would only help Stevens at this juncture.
It doesn't make sense for him to do it here unless he is concerned about his own offense, because he's been able to keep Stevens off.
All right, let's go. Break up. Step back, fellas. Step back. Please step back, easy.
So just moments left to go here in round 2. And it's been a pretty good round for Anthony Stevens. We will return for round 3. We hope you will.
Stevens has been cranking this punch. The right hand sets it up with the jab and then lands the right to the head.
We head into round 9 in this scheduled 10-rounder, and it's been really entertaining. Probably kind of a one-sided win at this point if he stays on his feet for Anthony Stevens, we think. But it has been interesting, and let's look at the numbers. That would indicate that what I said might well be true.
He's had the advantage that way, but there have been moments when Woods has made it interesting, has landed some good shots on the inside, and Stevens has looked very tired.
It has been, even in the fight that is a little one-sided, it has been very competitive, and Darrell Woods has certainly had his moments, as you point out. And I guess the intrigue here is when you look at Anthony Stevens' fight, lots of times he looked so tired that you think, uh-oh, something could be happening.
And you wonder if he's lost some rounds through the years by having that appearance. Like the earlier point about him fighting up or down to the level of competition is really hitting home here. This is a guy that's fought Trinidad and is in a tough fight with a 10-3 fighter.
Yeah, and when he fought Kevin Pompey his last time up, or time before this last time, he really looked very sharp. Darrell Brazier fought an excellent fight in July to beat Brazier over 12 rounds to win the USBA title. Harold, of course, a very fine fighter. There's the right hand by Stevens. Good body work. He has punished Woods to the body, but not on a consistent basis.
There goes one to the head. He has been unnerved by the height and reach disadvantage here. It has made him take another step as far as coming, and that's why we're not seeing him really letting his hands go. He is setting up and getting one good shot home, but not letting his hands go and getting the combination punches together.
Darrell Woods has to fight for everything he's had. He had 11 brothers and sisters. So he had to scrap his way just to get to eat something at the dinner table.
And he continues to stalk. For a guy who's losing the fight, he certainly has the appearance of wanting to be the aggressor.
All right, let's go. Let's break it. Go.
Under a minute left to go here in round 9. It is scheduled for 10. Anthony Stevens in the blue and the purple and black trunks. And now he is wailing away against Darrell Woods. Both men missing a lot, though.
Stevens had some problems punching up. Woods had some problems punching down.
Woods has stayed as righty for several rounds now. Stevens missing and getting nailed with some shots, but there he comes back again. Round 9 is history. Well, the only place to be.
Now listen to me. Do that. Okay. What you gonna do?
All you! Take it! Huh?
So we're set for round 10. It is the final round between Darrell Woods and the white trunks. And in the purple and black, it is Anthony Stevens, Elmo Madoff, the third man in the ring. It's been a cleanly contested fight, even though there have been a lot of clinches. And in round 9, you see the numbers of punches go down a bit.
And Stevens with a healthy advantage throughout. Woods smothering at times and showing some good defense in some spot, but not able to get it moving offensively.
Stevens languishing on the ropes, but making the most of it by landing counter punches off the ropes. Dave's scorecard, you got a big edge for Stevens.
Comfortable for Stevens. He's shown his ability with the hand speed, the foot speed, and able to do a little bit more round after round, and a nasty cut around the left eye of Woods is let go now and will continue.
And now Woods switches to the southpaw style. Now, if he believes he's behind Dave, he does have more power from the righty stance.
He really should be going back to his right-hand style. But it's one thing, maybe easy to see that somebody should be switching offensively, but if they're really feeling pain and they're in the power of their opponent, they'll go back to a survival mode first and just hope to get lucky.
We're in round 10. It is scheduled for 10. There's Woods landing some pretty good shots here in the 10th round. We believe he would need a knockout to win, but and the numbers would support that from Punch Profile, but that doesn't mean all the judges are seeing that way. Stevens with a couple of good right hands. Stevens is from Shreveport, right here in the Bossier City area. Bossier City is really just outside Shreveport.
He works at the Ralph Capri Casino here as a security guard as well. But he saw somebody once giving a $600 jackpot. He caught it. He ended up giving it back.
How about that? The ever vigilant Anthony Stevens. Well, he's seen a few decisions stolen by from him. He knows what it looks like. They both wail away with seconds left in round 10. Is this a good strategy for Anthony Stevens? Boy, he's laying on the ropes.
Not with this kind of a lead and not to set himself up like that. Yeah, this is a sport of controlled aggression, and sometimes emotions just cut loose and take over. Fighters have to make that distinction between the controlled aggression or trying to finish strongly. That's what he's doing, but with the lead, Stevens really doesn't want to open up like this. What's the point?
He's landing, but there he falls down. You can see the fatigue of Anthony Stevens. Those are going to be important 18 seconds for him. He just has to get through this. He's probably won the 10th round, but man, he looks tired. He's clutching and grabbing and holding. Well, it looks like Stevens will get through it and just barely. And Darrell Woods showing some signs of exaltation, but those were not that enthusiastic. Meanwhile, Anthony Stevens got through the wall, as you put it, and probably put on the prevent defense there toward the end enough to win this fight.
Kept himself going in there and made it very interesting in the final round by extending himself needlessly, perhaps, letting the adrenaline take over, but he got through it.
So we await the scoring of this fight. Darrell Woods came in here with a 10-3 record. Anthony Stevens was 24-7-2.
Certainly, Stevens did not put on the clinic he wanted to with the side-to-side movement here against the taller fighter. Here he's opening it up, and that's when you can get caught. Woods had just as much trouble finding him as he did having trouble finding Woods, and Woods does land a couple shots there and gets warned.
I can't get away with it.
He's so frustrated, he just hit Stevens in the back. And Anthony Stevens, who would like to believe he's going to get a shot at a welterweight or junior middleweight world title.
He certainly would like to fight somebody a little bit smaller and also maybe get a little better conditioning for his next fight.
And we've seen him in and out. There are times we've seen Stevens where we know he was in great condition, and other times maybe not. Well, in the center of the ring, James Belanger is ready. Let's go to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our decision. Judge Bruce McDaniel scores the fight 96-94. Judge Barton Casino 98-93. Judge Paul Ceda 97-93. You're winner by unanimous decision, Anthony Stevens.
So not too unexpected. This crowd likes it, and why not? They like Anthony Stevens. He's from Shreveport, and he performed pretty well here tonight against Darrell Woods, even though there may have been parts of the performance that he might think were a bit spotty. But he got the job done, got his 25th win as a professional.
He got through a fight that he had to get through here against somebody who was taller, certainly not an easy target to hit. He had his moments and gets his win.
So Anthony Stevens, as we said, is the winner. Beats Darrell Woods, and we will have more here in Top Rank Boxing. We'll talk to him when we come back. We are back at the Civic Center here in Bossier City, Louisiana, where we are going to have the WBU Junior Welterweight Championship featuring Jake the Snake Rodriguez and Givens. First, we take a look at Jake Rodriguez, the former IBF Junior Welterweight Champion.
Jake the Snake Rodriguez.
Jake Rodriguez champions the work ethic. As a 20-1 underdog, he startled Charles Murray to win the IBF Junior Welterweight title. Rodriguez proved this mugging was no fluke. He went on to make 2 successful defenses. A buzzsaw named Consta Zoo took Jake's title early this year. Zoo's hand speed, leverage, and overall strength was too much. In Zoo's finest hour, he scored a TKO. Some fighters would have been devastated by the loss. Rodriguez simply acknowledged Zoo's talent and went back to work. The first half of his return bout against Rocky Balboa wasn't pretty, but slowly, Rodriguez recaptured form. He won going away. For this fight, Rodriguez reunited with Pernell Whitaker.
I trained so hard for this fight, like I always train for all my fights. And the sparring with Pernell Whitaker has given me more, like, a push more to, to do it. I'm training with the best fighter in the world. So you're gonna fight the best when you go into the, into the ring. So it's a good thing about it, me fighting with, training with, Whitaker, and now fighting at home again.
All right, there is Jake the Snake Rodriguez, a delightful guy, a very talented fighter who won the IBF Junior Welterweight title, an upset that no one thought could happen against Charles Murray. Defended it a couple times, ultimately lost to Costa Zoo, who showed us that he is a terrific fighter. Did things against Jake Rodriguez that few people had been able to do prior to that. And so now Jake hopes to win this WBU title as kind of a stepping stone to get back into the title situation for yet another title. That is Homer Gibbons, a young man who has had the best and worst of things in the last year and a half or so. Dave Bontempo has a look.
The Nature Boy Gibbons.
Homer Gibbons wants to regroup. This Georgia junior welterweight opened some eyes last year with a technical win over Todd Foster. You last saw him on Top Rank Boxing in February with this win over Wayne Boudreaux. But in his last bout, Gibbons was clearly outclassed against Hector Macho Camacho. Camacho won a comfortable decision. Gibbons learned a lot.
I can go with anybody, even a legend like Camacho. I took his best shot, and I was able to come right back. He never really hurt me. He just was able to catch me off balance. And I know now that, no matter what a guy hits me, that I know I can come right back. And I can take whatever anybody gives and give right back.
That is Homer Gibbons, bedecked as he always is in pink formal wear. There's no other way I can put that. And let's take a look at the AutoZone keys to victory.
Well, Gibbons wants to take away the jab in the right hand of Jake Rodriguez. He thinks that's what fuels him. The double left hooks against the southpaw style will work. Jake Rodriguez, the jab sets everything up for him. He needs it in this fight, and he's good when he punches on angles.
So those are the AutoZone keys to victory, courtesy of Dave Bontempo. He's always right. You can bank on those being the keys to victory. Well, Homer Gibbons, Jake Rodriguez for the WBU junior welterweight title. Up in the center of the ring, James Belanger is there.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's main event is scheduled for 12 rounds for the vacant WBU junior welterweight title. President of the WBU, John Robinson. Chairman, Ed Levine. And supervising this fight, Frank Burnett. Your